Your audience page is where you will manage your subscribers overall. Your list health and your list growth is hugely important for your email marketing success, as we see list churn typically about 20 to 30% every year. The first tab we see where it says contacts is going to be the running list of all of your contacts. Now, there are 4 different ways to add contacts into your account, and don't worry, we're going to go through all 4. So the first way is just manually adding one contact at a time. So if we come over here, we see the option to add contact. This will be a little bit less commonly used. Maybe someone comes into the studio, maybe someone meets you at an event, they give you a business card, and you just want to add them into your list. You can type in their email address up here, add in the contact information you have for them, add them into a group, and either click Save and Close or Save and Add Another. Now we're definitely going to go through contact information groups and segments and how you'll generally be adding contacts into your account and storing them in that list management. But for now, this is just going to be that first way that you can add contacts in. So before we come into groups and segments, I did want to jump a little bit ahead into contact fields. And that's because contact fields are going to factor into so many different parts of your email marketing. They're going to come into play with segments, forms, even imports, personalization, automation, all of those really key features that we definitely want to cover within email marketing and also utilize. So the main thing to point out here, if we come over and click Create Contact Field, now these are going to be any pieces of data, any pieces of information that you're storing on your contacts, and also any fields that you're going to be bringing over from MindBody. So if you look at the top of an Excel sheet and you have all those columns of data, those are going to be your contact fields within your account. So we see some that are already created in here: first name, last class, first class, birthday, last class, first class, and birthday. These are all coming over from MindBody. So we'll definitely cover that integration in a bit, but let's say that we just needed to manually add a contact field. We'll come over and click Create Contact Field. And the main thing to be mindful of here is just making sure that you are bringing over the data from your import or from MindBody and mapping it over to the correct corresponding field type. So what I mean by that is, if you're bringing over a date of some sort, such as birthday, you're going to want to map that over to a date picker field. If you're bringing over a zip code or a postal code, mapping that over accordingly, state, numeric answer, anything like that. And the reason I like to say that is because a lot of times people kind of go into autopilot and they end up mapping everything over to short answer when really it should be a date picker. And that's because a date picker is going to behave differently in things like segmentation and automation than a short answer field will. This is going to be where you're importing contacts via an Excel sheet or a CSV file. So we'll come in and click Import Contacts. You can either drag and drop or just choose a file. I'm just going to choose a file and use example list here. Don't worry, I won't add in random strangers into this account. I know no one wants that. You definitely want people in your list who know that they're in your list and who want to be there. So we'll just click Continue. And then this is where you will map over your data. So you can choose what fields you want to bring over and what fields you want to ignore. It's going to automatically detect any fields that you've already created. So we see it detects first name and last name, but these other fields we haven't created yet. So we can either keep them ignored or say, come in here, add field, and then I could add this in as a postal code field. Click Save. And I also want to skip this first row. So this is just like you're skipping your header row here. So you're skipping email, first name, and you're only bringing over the information that matters, such as the email address, first name, last name, anything like that. So now we're bringing over the fields that we want to bring over. We're ignoring the fields that we don't need and clicking Continue. Now we do need to add an import into a group. Again, we don't want to add these contacts into this MindBody sync. We can either add them into an existing group or create a group right here. You can also add them into multiple groups if applicable. We'll just add them into this newsletter group, click continue. And then you have an import summary. So it's just showing you what information you're bringing over, what you're ignoring, how many contacts, and what groups they'll flow into. And then you will just click import and those contacts will be added into your account. This is where you will connect your MindBody account. So this is hugely important for us. For now, we don't have this section. Actually, as soon as it loads, we'll be able to see this MindBody here. I might go ahead and reload my page. There we go. And we'll just click connect. And then you will sign into your MindBody account using your site ID number. Now I've actually jumped into another account so we can see what the MindBody account will look like once you've actually connected. So we see the recent contacts synced up. You can click sync now again. So this is going to be a nightly sync, but if you ever did want to sync it again throughout the day for whatever reason, you could always click sync now. And as a reminder, this is a one-way sync. So it's only bringing information from your MindBody account into your Namaste Light account, not the other way around. And as another note, it's only going to bring over contacts who have checked the box that they accept, that they want to sign up for email marketing as well. But the only caveat to that is that Namaste Light will send over people who have opted out of email marketing back into MindBody, just to keep track of that in both platforms. But let's say we wanted to edit it. We'll click edit here. And we can come over and you see you can actually map over different groups. So we can say all clients, select all, and we'll want to map these clients. And this is named something different. Here it's syncing up to the master list, but in our case, from our example earlier, we would map these contacts over to the MindBody sync group so that they're not erased each night. But in this account's case, they're using that master list to do that. Now we'll click Map Fields. This is where you'll bring over any information. So as we saw before with contact fields, you're just bringing over any contact information from MindBody into Namaste Light. So these are going to be the only fields we have available. If you scroll down here, we see you have a bunch to choose from. We see first class date. This is what we were mapping over before. And it also shows you what type of field this needs to be. So the first class date needs to be a date picker field. You see first appointment date, if that applies more to your studio. We see membership contract, contract status, contract expiration date, recent visits. This is where we can see and map over last appointment date, last arrival, last class date, last class type even, whatever makes the most sense for you to bring over into Emma. And this is the information that you're going to be using in your email marketing. There are going to be some fields that you might not need really, that if you look at this and say, okay, I'm not going to be personalizing by this data, I'm not going to be using this for automation or segmentation, maybe you can skip over that field just to keep your data concise. You can see recent sales, last sales date, promotion name, intro offer, even client indexes here. So when you're ready, you can just map over these fields to the correct field. Again, we have a bunch of fields here. We can add a field. So let's say we haven't created a contact field yet in our contact field section. There's no sweat there. You can always go in and add a field in this process. You don't have to jump back all the way to that contact fields tab that we saw before. So when you click next, you'll just agree to the terms of use and service, and then you'll sync up your contacts, and that's it. Then your contacts will start syncing from MindBody. The information will start coming over, and again, it's that one-way sync. It's a nightly sync. So each night, your new MindBody contacts will come into your Namaste Light account.